Right, good afternoon guys, or at least it's afternoon where I am when I'm recording. Don't know about you when you're watching it, but either way, I've got an unboxing for you here. This is EVGA's latest X79 motherboard, the X79 Dark. I actually can't wait to have a play around with it. It looks like a top board, but first I have to get this and a lot of other things out of their boxes before I can do it. So let's go over some of these features. It's got USB 3 and SATA 3 6 gigabit a second. It's got PCI Express 3.0 ready. If you're with NVIDIA, there's quite a lot of trouble getting that working sort of by default. They're doing a driver soon for Titan and 780 users. If you have an EVGA processor, it will work. Okay, as it says here, designed for Intel 2011 processors. So you've got both standard and Extreme Edition processors, chipset, NVIDIA SLI ready. It's also Crossfire ready, just to let you know. On the back, we have the picture of the motherboard. So there's some more details over it, different stuff it features. But we're going to ignore all that because I'm going to go over it once I get to the board. And that will be when I forget what all the features are. And I'll have to keep referring to the box. You won't. My mind will go blank. And I won't be able to tell you anything about the motherboard at all. Probably won't even be able to tell you it's a motherboard. Right, so we've got a little message. That's typical with EVGA cards. If I adjust the camera up, there, it basically says, please note if your product is not working properly, do not return to the store. EVGA offers direct customer service. So that's basically saying it's the warranty this has is for direct to manufacturer, not back to the store. Very nice. Lower the camera back down. A nice blank box here. And here's the EVGA packaging we're all used to by now. Let's see what we've got. First off, we have two USB rear panel header. So you've got the front panel connector there, internal connector to two external USB 3. We have this board has support for the next generation EVGA CPUs. Please switch to BIOS 3 to use a beta BIOS for EVGA CPU usage, which we'll go over in a minute. Tells you how to even do that. So we'll go over that in a minute when we look at the board. This is the quick start guide. I imagine it will just tell you how to install CPUs, give you a layout of the board, and that sort of stuff. X79 Dark motherboard installation guide. Looks like a very nice, clean and simple installation guide as well. On the outside, no fancy graphics or anything like that. We have the drivers and utilities installation disc, and there's normally some sort of case badge in there, but it doesn't look like there is this time. A lot of people always tell you actually throw this CD away, but I've had problems in the past where I've actually needed to use a CD because I can't get internet access without installing the LAN drivers. So, you know, it's good to keep the CD at hand. Here we have Molex to... Actually can't even see what that is. Gonna have to open it. I know sometimes they say on, but this one doesn't. Right, we have single Molex to two SATA with nice black cables and connectors. Then we have two SATA cables with with the little lock latches, so that's a nice little feature. Right. We have GPU link cables, that's all for the voltage monitoring and various other features. We have a flexible two-way SLI bridge. Probe-it cables, so you can probe things. 4 USB 2 back panel connector extension. We've got this is the I/O cover, which I'll get out in a bit once we've got the board out. More SATA cables by the looks of it. So that's more SATA cables, throw that one over there. Here we have the three-way SLI connector. It's going to be quite a long unboxing. There's a lot of stuff in this box. Here we have a back plate that, for the socket. This will allow you to attach 1366 coolers to the 2011 socket. More SATA cables. These are like Molex to SATA power, I'm guessing, by the looks of it. Here we have something I've never actually used. It's a 4-way SLI bridge, because this board does support 4-way SLI, as you'll see in a minute. And last but not least, we have the I/O shield. Alright, now on to accessories done, now on to the good stuff. The motherboard itself. Move that there. Nice EVGA branded anti-static bag. Now that, my friends, is what you call a motherboard. So, this has actually made me gobsmacked, I must say the least. This is one of the nicest looking motherboards I've seen in a while. It's nice, clean and simple. But, right, let's go through it, shall we? So we have our 8 DIMMs that you come to expect on a X79 motherboard. Latches only on one side, the other side you just clip them in. Got your CPU socket here with a please read before CPU installation. Little message book here. Not going to go into detail on that. You've got your VOMs there with the heatsink on top. Above that we have, if I can get into the camera, 2 8-pin connectors. You don't have to use both at the same time, you can only use one. Onboard power and reset button, CMOS reset button, so a clear CMOS button. LED poster, which I love seeing them on there. It allows you to debug a lot more easily what could be the problem. CPU fan header, voltage checkpoints. The lovely thing I love about EVGA motherboards, and what's always made me want one, right angled 24-pin. Absolutely brilliant. Then we've got, these two are Intel SATA 6 gigabit a second, Marvel 6 gigabit a second, and these 6 are Intel SATA 2 3 gigabit a second. Here we have another fan header, front panel connections, and another fan header, and the BIOS selector, so that has 3 different positions because there's 3 different BIOS on it. I don't want the beta BIOS, I want the other one, so I'm going to put that there. Going on the bottom, we have USB 3, and this is the one thing I don't like EVGA, that should be right angled. Makes so much easier because the USB 3 connectors are so bulky, it's so much easier when they're right angled. I'll leave that off because I do need that off anyway. Another fan header, and 2 USB 2, another 4-pin fan header. They've all been 4-pin so far, a lot of them. Onboard speaker, which hopefully I can turn off. Another 6-pin to give extra power to the PCI Express slots. I've just realised I jumped right over something, and that is just there. There is right there, if the camera would actually focus. There we go. There is switches for the PCI Express lanes. Okay. Here we have the CMOS battery. Sorry, autofocus messing me about now, ruining my video. But this X79 chipset is below this, with a nice E on there and an EVGA logo there, which doesn't light up. I can't really tell if that lights up or not, but it doesn't look like it. It looks more like it's just reflective. Here we have our PCI Express lanes. This one is times 16, times 8, times 16 or times 8, depending on what you got in it, times 8, times 4, and times 8 or times 4. Basically, one thing you can do is you can have 3-way and actually have a gap between every single card, which is really nice. And you can do 2-way, and as well you can do 4-way. Got another fan header there, nice NVIDIA SLI logo printed onto the board. I'll be more inclined to say that the fan header here is which is a 4-pin, is the one for for your CPU cooler, seeing as I can't see another one about. And here we have once the camera the I/O shield. So we have our audio, HD audio and optical output, 2 gigabit Ethernet, both on an Intel NIC, so that's the kind of thing you want to see. 4 USB 3.0, 2 USB 2 there, and them 2 are USB and eSATA combo ports. Another 2 USB 2, sorry, getting my mouse muddled up. You got your EVGA bot, no, Eve bot I believe it's called, for overclocking. Come on, thank you. Reset, BIOS reset, another 2 USB 2 and Bluetooth. There's a shot of the 2 8-pin there. One thing I will say is I'm going to have a lot of high-res pictures on my Facebook page, so head over to there if you'd like to see pictures of this and everything that is included. Right, I'll get this I/O sheet cover out and I'll show you how that works for ones that don't know on camera. So this is it. You simply, my speakers are making a weird noise, put it over like that, and you screw it onto the motherboard and then onto the case, and it covers up the I/O shield. That is something I am so glad exists. You know, sort of, it really ruins the sort of, if you've got an all black board like this with a little bit of red, it kind of ruins as then having that silver there. So being able to cover it up with more black, and even that black to then have the model name on it, is even better. So then people know exactly what your motherboard is then, even if you've got its model name somewhere else covered up. Which they don't actually have like X79 Dark printed on the motherboard, which I would assume is because of that. So yep, I will be doing a series of videos over the next couple of weeks on this board, like the BIOS and overclocking and stuff like that. So if you want to see all that stuff, stay tuned for that. I'll get them uploaded as of and when I can. Yeah, and that's been my video of my unboxing video of the X79 Dark motherboard from EVGA. Remember to comment, rate and subscribe. And like I said, if you want to see high-res pictures of this, head over to, there'll be high-res, highly detailed pictures, and for them head over to my Facebook page, and there's a link in the description to that where you'll see all the pictures. Thank you and goodbye.